Ah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas.
Oh, you have a Christmas sweater on.
Actually, this isn't. But I don't wear it very often for some reason. So, yeah. Thank you for noticing. Hopefully, everyone got everything they wanted for Christmas, and ate too much, and saw the family, and just had fun. It's a great time of year. Great time of year. And for holiday eating tips, I guess I should have started this a couple weeks ago, but avoid carrot sticks. Anyone who puts carrots on the holiday buffet table knows nothing of the holiday spirit. In fact, if you see carrots, leave immediately. Go next door where they're serving rum balls. Drink as much eggnog as you can, and quickly. It's rare. You cannot find it at any other time of the year but right now. So drink up. Who cares that it has 10,000 calories in every sip? It's not like you're going to turn into an eggnogaholic or something. It's a treat. Enjoy it. Have one on me. Have two. It's later than you think. It's Christmas. If something comes from gravy, use it. That's the whole point of gravy. Gravy does not stand alone. Pour it on, make a volcano out of your mashed potatoes, fill it with gravy, eat the volcano, repeat. Hey, did anybody see the Falcon 9 rocket land this week? Oh, how cool is that? For those of you who don't know, Elon Musk, one of my all-time heroes, SpaceX, history was made. Fire a rocket up, have it come apart, do all of its things, and then come back down to Earth like we were told as kids that it was supposed to. So, good job, Elon. Thought for today: little progress can be made by merely attempting to repress what is evil. Our great hope lies in the developing of what is good. President Calvin Coolidge. So, more t-shirts. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. The best thing about the good old days was that I wasn't good and I wasn't old.
I want that.
You need that one. I'd grow my own food if I could only find bacon seeds. Geezer, slang, not young, not dead, somewhere in between. Inside every person is a younger person wondering, what the hell happened? You cannot be old and wise if you were never young and crazy.
I think that one's yours, Joe.
That's mine? Okay. Stuff going on this week. Hey, he's going to talk. Qigong every Sunday. The Emotion Code on Monday. Voices from Beyond on Wednesday. Jan, do you want to say anything about that? If people don't know what Voices from Beyond are, or you don't do it very often. A couple times a year maybe. I know. Because we can, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Voices from Beyond is an opportunity to communicate with those loved ones that have crossed over. I used to not believe in ghosts. I used to not believe in the other side. I thought you died, that was it, until Judgment Day. I've kind of changed my opinion on that because of experiences that I've had. And so I realized that it's time to open up and allow myself to communicate with the other side in your behalf. Sometimes in our own grief, our energy is a little heavier, denser. So someone who is not emotionally involved can have a little higher energy vibration and connect in with those that are on the other side. So I do that for you in the Voices from Beyond. I'm not sure what else to say. It's very cool. Any questions about that? Wednesday night, 6:30 to whenever we get done. No, just show up. It's $35. Half goes to the church. If you have any questions, talk to me after church. How's that sound?
I remember when Jan saw her first other person. I happened to have been with her. We were down in Pendleton at a B&B. A friend of ours had this beautiful old home, B&B, huge, open, beautiful. And I was sitting in the front room when Jan was doing a reading. And for whatever reason, I heard a portion of it. And after she got out, I went, "Did you just see a dead person?" And she goes, "Uh-huh." I said, "Is that the first time?" And she went, "Uh-huh." So things have changed. We do have a couple patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon. And John said, "A dream you dream alone is just a dream, but a dream you dream together is reality." George, the reason I talk to myself is because I'm the only one whose answers I accept. Absolutely. So. Ooh, this was interesting. The Think music for Jeopardy! Na, 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 was written by the show's creator, Merv Griffin. So. How do you write that? Yep. Various types of deer were familiar to early European hunters and sportsmen. They were a favorite quarry of kings and noblemen during England's age of chivalry. Still, adventurers of later eras who left the island kingdom for New England were quite unprepared to see their first moose. Standing 7 feet high at the withers, an old bull may boast antlers weighing as much as 60 pounds. He is fearful, almost unbelievable sight. If you've ever seen a moose, they really are an amazing looking animal. Though males are shy and unapproachable during most of the year, they become aggressive during the mating season in autumn. Two big fellas sometimes stage a battle over a drab little cow, fighting savagely with horns and hoofs. Nature offers few spectacles so grim as that of giant swans with their spreading horns locked in battle. It's an interesting word, in placement anyway. Frontier speech was quickly enriched by comparing angry human opponents with battling moose. No matter how smooth their heads, persons who clash violently are said to lock horns. So. And there you go. Modesty and unselfishness. These are the virtues which men praise and pass by. Pride is generally censured and decried, but mainly by those who have nothing to be proud of. The follies which a man regrets most are those which he didn't commit when he had the opportunity. Yep. More politics, perfect time of year. Politics is a gentle art of getting votes from the poor and campaign funds from the rich by promising to protect each from the other. The Democrats are the party that says the government will make you smarter, taller, richer, and remove the crabgrass from your lawn. The Republicans are the party that says government doesn't work and they get elected and prove it. I am apolitical. That's just a political thing. It's fun. That's all it is. I offer my opponents a bargain. If they will stop telling lies about us, I will stop telling the truth about them. Adlai Stevenson, 1952. Josie, you have something to say.
No problem. You like doing that, don't you?
I do.
Good morning. I'm so glad you're here, Christopher. Okay, I want to tell you briefly about a little project that happened in the late 70s. It was called the PrEP program. And a man named Mr. Parks gave a grant to the Parapsychology Association in Riverside, California, of about $1 million. And it was, was handled through the Cal State University in San Bernardino. And what he wanted to know was, could hypnotism improve or resolve previously documented medical cases? So about 5 hypnotists from PAR took 3 years to see about 1,000 documented medical cases that had not previously responded to orthodox medicine. After that 3 years, they did a 6-month follow-up, a 5-year follow-up, and a 10-year follow-up, and published this little booklet. About how many cases do you think were resolved or improved by hypnotism? 10%, 20%, 50%?
Half.
81%.
Wow.
Okay. The process that came out of this, one of the hypnotists was Al Ward, who I studied with, and he taught me the process that he used in that research program. And that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do starting on the 10th. So I hope you join me.
Cool. Thank you, Josie.
Sign-up sheet and information sheet here in the back.
Warner Communications paid $28 million for the copyright to the song. Happy birthday. Intelligent people have more zinc and copper in their hair.
I guess that's what causes it to fall out.
That could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. Our hair's too heavy, so it falls out.
I'm sticking with that one.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like it. I like it. A comet's tail always points away from the sun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've done this one before. Actually, I did it in 2012, but it's 2015, so I'll do it again. If you were here then, cool. Lost on a rainy night, a nun stumbled across a monastery and requested shelter there. Fortunately, she was just in time for dinner and was treated to the best fish and chips she had ever had. After dinner, she went into the kitchen to thank the chefs. She was met by two brothers. "Hello, I'm Brother Michael, and this is Brother Charles. I'm very pleased to meet you. I just wanted to thank you for a wonderful dinner. The fish and chips were the best I have ever tasted. Out of curiosity, who cooked what?" Brother Charles replied, "Well, I'm the fish fryer." She turns to the other brother and says, "Then you must be." "Yes, I'm the chipmunk." Yeah. 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 What? Okay.
Good morning. Anybody remember what's going to happen on Thursday at 4 a.m.? World Peace Meditation. Yes, it is. And I have the information. The meditation itself is going to be at the Center for Spiritual Living in Kennewick at 210 East 3rd Avenue. Then they will go together for breakfast, if you would like, to Denny's out on 395. And I wanted to offer you this morning, because it's come to me twice now, so I'm supposed to say this. If you would like to stay after church today for a pre-World Peace Meditation as a tribe, you're my tribe. Tribe is about belonging. It's a place you go where you belong and that you feel comfortable and that you feel safe. And it's come to me twice, and I've had this picture, this vision of what we could do to surround this planet for peace together as a tribe. So if you want to stay after this morning, it wasn't a long meditation. It was, probably take 15 minutes or so. But we have such a powerful energy here together that I am inspired to offer that to you this morning. So whether it's this morning or both, this is a thing that I think it's an energy, it's not a thing. Well, thoughts are things. They're the energy things. It's very timely, and it's in our face on this planet, the need for peace. And it starts with whom? Us. So join me if you will. And if not, Thursday morning, awaken at 4, be a part of it, or go to Spiritual Center for Spiritual Living in Puerto. I'm looking for him, and he's not here. And so next we're going to do Angel.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Good night. We'll see you soon.
Just turn the box to B. Okay, then turn the volume down. When in doubt, just turn them all down. But don't do what other people do. I come in there sometimes, and people obviously haven't been able to figure out how to do something, so they've hit everything. And it's like, what have they done? It does take me a minute to figure out which ones were hit. We have a wonderful person with us today, like we always do this time of year. He was gracious enough to do Christmas Eve service. And I know he loves doing that, and the people that were there, I know, love getting it. And he's here again, all in 1 week. So, thank you, Christopher.
Had to make sure I was on. Good morning. Namaste. Wonderful song selection, Philip. And Merry Christmas. You know, it's an interesting time of year because at this time of year, a lot of times we go through all types of emotions. It's like a roller coaster, if you will. There's great joy, and sometimes there's great sadness, and a lot of times we really struggle with ourselves. And we struggle about what we haven't done, or what we thought we should have done, or what we could have done better, or this or that, or oh my gosh, gee. And before you know it, you start really beating yourself up. And I'm very good at that. Let me tell you, I'm probably an expert at it. It took me years and years and years and years and years of doing that to myself to pull myself out of that. It was probably one of the hardest battles I have ever fought in my entire life. And it's not over. I still fight that battle. I still question my own self-worth. And I'm sure every single one of us has done that at one time or another. Correct? Yeah. So I want to talk to you about something about how to deal with that. How do we deal with when we start getting down on ourselves? Because it can be a hard rock to crawl out from under when you let it fall on you. It can be really a hard rock to crawl out of. And when I find that descending on me, I start really going through my little rituals that I do to get myself back on center and back on track and back into light and not beat myself up. Because I always remember, especially when I meditate, I always think of, I am that I am. The Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the ending. And then I stop and I repeat it again, and then I stop. I go, I am that. I just stop at I am that. And then I realize I am that. And that helps me get through that. Play on words there a little bit. Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, that helps me a lot. But there's something else that really, a long time ago, before I really started pulling myself together and really kind of walking down the path that I presently find myself on. You might have heard about it when you were small. I know I first heard it when I was a small child. It was about a king and a spider. You remember that? Actually, it's from Scotland. And it's Robert the Bruce was actually the king of Scotland at the time. And his kingdom was under siege by King Edward II. And he's been tossed out of his castle. His mother, his two sisters were prisoners. His two brothers had been captured and slain by King Edward's armies, if you will. And he was a renegade with his army. His army had been outnumbered by about 3+1. It was huge. And he's in a cave. And this is where the spider and the king takes place. He's in this cave and he's watching this spider climb up the wall, and the spider's trying to make a web, and each time the spider goes up the wall it falls, but it gets back up and it goes again, and it keeps going and going and going, and it falls every time it tries, until finally it makes an attachment with its web, and it starts to build its web. And that inspired Robert the Bruce, the king, to go back out with his army and face King Edward II. It was a 2-day battle. It happened in 1314, and I believe it was June 23rd and 24th when it happened, when this battle took place. And they actually defeated King Edward II on the second day. The first day, what they did is they entrenched their armies, they dig pits, and they did all these kinds of things, and they really kind of made themselves into a single unit that was almost impenetrable. And I can't remember the gentleman, the knight that saw Bruce, Robert the Bruce, and came after him, because all he had in that battle was a battle axe. He didn't have anything else. And this other knight from England came charging at him with his lance on his horse, and really coming full speed, boom, 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 that kind of thing. And he managed to evade that attack and slay the knight that was trying to kill him. The very next day, which is interesting, they were at Mass. His whole army was at Mass. And King Edward's army decided to cross the river to come at them from a different angle. And they came up out of the church and went and fought them as they were coming across the river. So the bowmen and all of those, they were able to really decimate the army. And there was a group that follows armies around in those days, and all of the people, you know, kind of the, I don't know what you, hawkers, those kinds of things, prostitutes, all that stuff. Anyway, they all picked up arms and joined the king in his fight against King Edward. And King Edward's army thought that Robert the Bruce had another army coming. And then they fled. They fled. And that's how he won that battle. So he didn't give up. He tried. He had to go over and over and over again. They actually captured some of King Edward's knights, and they used them to parley with King Edward to get his mother and his sisters back. Okay? They did an exchange of prisoners, if you will. And the story is really amazing. I tell you that story because when I was little, that was the thing that I hung on to when I started to beat myself up. That was that one story about the spider and the king. When I first heard it, it was the king sitting under a tree and the spider was trying to get to a branch. I did a little research later on and found out it was really in a cave. But it inspired me to pull myself up and pull myself from out of the rock. It's been an interesting Christmas this year. We're in a new house and in a new neighborhood. And in our kitchen, we have received from neighbors 5 different plates of goodies from people we didn't know. And it's just been really amazing. And it was interesting because you could have something like that happen to you and then say, oh, I should do something. What are you doing when you do that? Starting to beat yourself up. I didn't do that. I just accepted everything that came our way with grace and light. And it's been beautiful. We feel very, very welcome in the new neighborhood that we're in. It's in Pasco, by the way. Yay, Pasco. It's just some beautiful things that are going on. I guess really what I wanted to talk to you about is the fact that it's not unusual to start getting down on yourself about this or about that or about something you said, and you go over and over and over and over and over again in your mind about it, and you're wondering, well, could I have done this differently, or maybe I should have said this differently, and we start going down that old beaten path. You don't have to do that. You're divine, beautiful, energetic spirits of light, every single one of you. We don't need to beat ourselves up. We can't hide our light under a bushel, as it says in the Bible. Don't do that. Shine. Your light is brightest when you're going through your biggest struggles. I can't remember the German professor that's doing all of the photography of ores and things, but yeah, something like that. But what he did is he actually was filming a seed when it was put in the ground. And right when the seed's put in the ground, he said, that's when the ore around the seed is the brightest. That's the biggest struggle, birth. Okay? That's our biggest struggle. Women that are pregnant, they have this glow about them. It's a huge struggle for the soul that's coming through. And it's so much light in that. So much light in that. Imagine, if you will, the other end. Okay? We come in to this world, and then we're going to go into another one. And that's when the light will get really bright again. Okay? Because a lot of us struggle with the exit. We have just as much struggle with the entrance as we do with the exit. We tend to forget the entrance. I think they're both the same. You're creatures of light, all of us. And to get down on yourself or to think yourself unworthy or not good enough or just don't have the right stuff. I never got the promotion. I never made manager. I never had the children I wanted to have. I didn't get the house where I wanted it to be. I don't make the kind of money that I thought I was going to make. All of those things are illusionary. And they won't really do anything except run away with you if you let them. Don't let them. You're much better than that. I am that. I am. You are that. Every single one of you. We tend to forget it. We tend to forget it. Meditation's wonderful, so that's a great thing that you're offering. Meditation, prayer, just being still. If you just be still and just think to yourself, being still, and in that stillness, you cannot help but feel your greatness. Okay? You cannot help but feel your greatness in the stillness. It's there. It has never left you. It can't leave you. You are it. You are it. And it's really, really, really important at this time because, as been so eloquently said earlier this morning, the earth really is at a tipping point. I've talked about it before. I truly believe we'll have peace on this planet. The planet's alive. It's not a dead rock. It's a living being. And we're part of it. And we can have peace here. We're that powerful. If you have the faith of the size of a mustard seed, you can say to a mountain, get up and move. And the mountain will get up and move. Just the faith of a mustard seed. That's how powerful we are. Christ told the Romans, he said, you can tear down this temple, but I will rebuild it in 3 days. He was speaking about resurrection. We are powerful beings of light. We can bring peace to this planet. I'm absolutely sure of it. No doubt in my mind. Phil's song selection this morning was spot on. Was spot on. I don't know how he does it. You know, I'm going to have to get him one of those T-shirts. So I want to see that book. But it was really spot on. It really spoke to what was in my heart this morning. I was sitting here listening and watching the words, and I'm going, wow, this is amazing. But it happens every time I come, every Sunday. Things just connect, and they click, and they work. Because we are one. We are one. We truly are. So I want to see smiles on your faces. Great, awesome. Namaste.
If I thought it would do any good. Communion. This is our opportunity to physically commune in a spiritual way. This is a community activity. We are doing it with one another, and we're doing it with Divine Source, one-on-one with Spirit. So it's a community activity, and yet it's very uniquely personal. So you have the right to use unleavened bread if you like the tradition of that, rice cakes if you're wheat intolerant, animal crackers if you'd like to honor Native American pathway, whatever works for you. Would you join us in prayer, please? Loving Spirit of light, as we partake of this, help us to recognize that we are spiritually nourished and that we have the right to join with you and walk with you, and that you bless us in all things. These things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. As that continues around, would you join us in prayer again, please? Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it. The joys and the sorrows, the challenges and the victories. And as we drink that in, help us to realize that you walk with us and that we are not alone and that you are here to comfort us, encourage us, and bless us. We thank you for this. In the name of Jesus. Amen.
Volunteer? Oh, there we go.
So in line with what Christopher shared, I found something recently that has helped me along that same line. And that is, as soon as I start down that path, I think I am enough. Enough. I don't have to be perfect. And for me, it helps me stop the judgment immediately. I am enough. To know that wherever you are right now, you are enough. Thank you for being here.
Amen to that. Thank you, sir. Who would like to lead the church prayer? Come on. In the very front of your books, you'll see our church prayer.
loving Spirit of light, grateful for this divine church home where we feel safe, connected, loved, and joyful. We ask that angels of light shine grace on our journey and bring us bodacious laughter and the truth of our wondrous destiny. As beacons of light, may we shine our abundant blessings and unconditional love, creating unity with all. So be it.
Well done. Thank you.
How all the dirt in here just kind of vibrates and makes it sound.
Gotta love them. Communion sign up. Probably should have sent this around earlier. We could use some help in January. If you need any other information about communion setup, then check with Joe and Val. Let's do a guided meditation, shall we?